Hi, it's Matt with Get To It Outdoors. Today I'm going to be reviewing my Jackson Bluesky Boatworks 360 Angler 6-month review. I've had time with it on the water. I've come up with a checklist of complaints, not many, but and a lot of good things. Made some changes, and I want to share those with you. So if you're in the market for a new kayak and you're looking at this one, hopefully this will help answer some of your questions. Stick around, see you out on the water. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Well, let's start this out with the review of the seat here. There's several different adjustments you can make. So let me kind of show those and demonstrate those. We'll get this down so you can see the adjustment bars. This one here allows you to go forward or back to your height so you can reach the pedals. Then we have this one, which is a tension that causes where you can lock your seat so you can just stay facing forward, or if you got it loose, you can turn it. And this is why they call it Jackson 360, because you can turn 360 degrees while fishing. And then the other one here is the height, so you can go up or down. So this is fully adjustable. In addition, right here you can loosen this and the other side, and then you can get your recline and get your recline back pretty far. I don't know why you want to go back that far, but it reclines back and pull it back up, and you can just turn those knobs and lock it into place. Now let's talk the pedal drive here. Now this is the older model. This is just a flex drive. They came out with a belt drive, which is supposed to be better. I want to get that to try it out, but I believe it's like $1,200 for the improvement, or the to get that replaced. But this is working great for now. This is how you lower. So this is your prop all the way up, which I can show you here. You can see the prop right there, and then to lower it, all you got to do is that's halfway down, and then that's all the way down. The great thing about this is if you're fishing with a bunch of logs or rocks or stuff just below the surface, when the arm goes down, it hits it, it's a fail-safe. Like, it comes up and comes into the boat and hides it away from everything without damaging anything. To me, that's a great feature, because my last kayak I had didn't have that, and you would hit it and like hopefully didn't break anything off. But this arm just comes up and gets out of the way, and it's fantastic. I love that. Now let's talk about the rudder. You can see the rudder there. You can just release it by this cable down here, take it out of the cleat right here, and just release it, and you can see it just go down. These bars here on both sides of the seat control that rudder. I have it on both sides of the seat, so it's for lefties or righties, it don't matter. But as you can see behind me, you can see it, as I'm turning it, which brings me to my next topic, the turning radius. Immaculate. Let me demonstrate. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm going to demonstrate the turning radius of this, and as you can see, it turns very well. Obviously, you got to be pedaling to turn, as it's a pedal drive, but it turns very well. It's because of the big rudder, obviously. I was asked about the stability of this kayak, and so what I did was I ended up doing, how easy is it to tip the kayak? I put myself and my son on this kayak. I weighed 185. Together, him and I, we weighed 335. So we even stood on one side of this kayak, and it would not tip. We made it tip by grabbing on the seat and pulling back. But, you know, if you're a 300-pound guy, you can stand on the front like I demonstrated in my other video, and I'll put that link of that video down in the description for you. The stability is fantastic. You can just stand up. You can just stand up or sit back down. You can stand up. You can dance around on this thing. I actually took it out camping, and the mosquitoes were so bad that it was rough camping, by the way. So like, there was no amenities, no bathrooms, no porta pots, nothing like that. So you had to drop trowel in the woods like a bear, and the mosquitoes were so bad I wasn't willing to do that. So on this front, on the front of this kayak here, where my Garmin sits, I had a portable, just a bucket type of thing, and I took it out in the middle of the water and sat on that bucket and did my business. That's how stable this kayak is. I did have a question about waves. You know, I've had it out on Lake Michigan, and I've had it, I was working the tributaries there, Trail Creek in Michigan City. And I was working that trail in that, and I decided I want to go out into the opening, the Bay Area. And there was about 1.5 footers out there. I'm like, well, I think this might be able to do it. And so I made my way out there, and it was a little uncomfortable. It really was. You know, this is very stable, but with that being said, it's almost like you would picture a 4x8 sheet of plywood that floats very well. But it's just so hard. It took the waves and was just rocking me. So I turned around and went back into the Trail Creek there. I was asked for my last video, what about the wind impact? You know, this is 14 foot long. You sit up higher than a regular kayak. You got dual pontoons. You know, honestly, I can't say that I noticed a difference. I had a Hoodoo Tempest pedal drive 120, and I can't really say I noticed the difference. My dad was next to me on a windy day. We were fishing up in Craig Lake in up UP, Michigan, and it was super windy that day, and he was in his old town and I was in this, and we were just getting blown around about the same. So I mean, I don't think it necessarily catches any more wind, because your body's still exposed the same amount, whether you're just being a little higher or not. Your body in the kayak's still getting the same amount of wind exposure. I was asked about the speed of this while on a camping trip with a bunch of a couple of my friends and some of my family. They had some Old Town Sportsman 12-footers pedal drives, and I had this, and we wanted to race just to see, and it was pretty even. Like, one wasn't necessarily any faster than the other. So, but to answer what kind of speed I do get, I have my Garmin powered up and logged into the GPS. Let's get this thing going and see what my speed can be. Okay, so my speed's gonna be this, so my speed's gonna be that number right there under the water temp 77. So right now I'm sitting still at 0 miles per hour. Let's see what we can do. Leisure pedal, I'm at, nice leisure pedal, I'm at about 3.36, 3.4. Well, let me really crank on it here. Let's see, 4.37, 4.4, 4.45, 4.5. So looks like 4.5 is about the fastest. And I probably couldn't sustain this for more than 5 minutes before I tire out. Yeah, so I did 4.5. It's about my top speed, I would say, with the pedal drive. But a nice leisure pedal where I can just go and go and go. It's about 3.5 to 3.75. So what would I change about this kayak? And I can't really say I complained about them with why I changed them. It's just more of a preference thing. We'll start off with the pedals. A little bit of a complaint on the pedals, I guess you'd say. The ones that came with it, they were fine as far as operating, but they were smooth. So they didn't have any traction. My feet were constantly slipping off them. So I changed them to these aluminum ones I bought off of Amazon for like 20 bucks or so. And they're green, they kind of match the kayak, and they've got traction, so my feet don't slip, which is good. These wheels, they're great for everyday use, pavement, and low aggressive terrain, I guess you'd say. But if you're using sand, like your access point sand, I'd get sand wheels. But if you got a rough terrain to get to your destination, you'll want bigger wheels. And I had a video, and I'll put a description down in the video. I'll put a link down in the description of this video of those, and it's just a short of the wheels that I got to replace those for rough terrain. In addition, I added this Igloo 52 quart cooler to the back for a live well. It's the same color, matches very well. I strap it down to those eyelets, and works out very well. So if you've been watching other videos on this kayak, the Jackson Bluesky Boatworks 360 Angler, then you know one of the complaints is a squeaky seat. As I'm pedaling right now, you could probably hear it. And you know, I've looked up a problem solving a situation for it, but it doesn't really bother me all too much. But if it bothers you, Todd at Yakspectations Todd has a channel called Yakspectations, and he did an improvement on his seat that maybe eventually I'll get around to it. But good job, Todd, on that. Check out his channel. I'll leave a link down in the description for that. So with this older style pedal drive, If you got gears in here, like the newer ones, the belt. So, but with these gears, they need lubed. And it comes with a trigger kit that puts the grease down in these ports. It's not as easy as you think. You actually have to squeeze the tube while squeezing the trigger at the same time, which puts the grease in there. If you don't do that, this actually gets loud to the point where you might be scaring your fish away. But if you do it right and make sure the grease is coming out of that tube, it's actually very quiet. It's not bad. These hatches here, there's 4 of them. You got one in the back. Oh, my net's over that one, but right there and right there. Same on the other side. Those aren't waterproof. Not that I've had a big issue with it. I mean, I haven't really put my yak in a situation where a bunch of water is running over the top of it, so it's not a big issue. Yes, it's true. They're not waterproof, and I think the only time that I experienced that when I tried to flip my kayak for that video, and when I took my kayak out in Lake Michigan with the 1.5 footers. Other than that, I don't really experience a problem with that. Doesn't bother me. But one of the other complaints I have with those are they're right in the way of where you should step. Like, it seems like it'd be a natural place to step. And I'm 185 pounds, and when I did step on it, I heard a pop. And I looked at it, and it didn't look like I broke it or anything, but it did make a pop. And I just, you know, I'm not comfortable with that. So try to avoid stepping on those, I would think. So there's a gentleman I was talking to. His name's Dale from Heartland Makes and Outdoors. He recently was in the market for a kayak, and he was asking about this one. This is one of the ones he was checking out. And one of his questions was if he could put his dog on the yak with him and it'd be comfortable and stable enough. Absolutely, man. I mean, and that's to anybody that's wondering that. Absolutely. On that front porch where my Panoptics sit, there's plenty of room right there for them to chill, or behind you, the same thing. Or the back porch here where my other cooler sits. They can hang out there. They can walk up beside you and everything. It's very stable, and I feel comfortable with the dog up here. I mean, I had my son on here for the stability contest. So, I mean, there's that as well. So, yeah, the answer is absolutely you put your dog on here, and they wouldn't, and as long as they like water, they wouldn't feel uncomfortable at all. One thing I do want to bring up is the rudder cable. When we went on a long trip, I trailered this, but there was a lot of vibrations and stuff, and I stored the rudder in the upright position, and so there was a lot of tension on the rudder cable, and with the vibration of the road and everything, it broke on that last hole back here. So I had to replace it. But I'm going to insert a video here and show you guys that how easy it is to replace it. I just replaced it with regular paracord. Super easy, and this is one of the advantages of this kayak. Everything's so exposed, and you don't have to run anything through the hole, and it's not difficult to change anything. Even the rudder steering cable is easy access. Another thing I would change, or maybe just take off, are these rod holders here. I just never use them, and they just get in the way. There's one there and one in the back. I mean, if you're inclined to use them, then by all means, but I don't have a use for them, so I'm probably going to take them off. I have no regrets. Brand new, these things run about $5,000. I was lucky and got the previous year model and picked it up for a little over $3,000, which is why I got the older pedal drive, but that's fine. That is fine. I love this kayak, and especially compared to my last kayak. Very stable, and I have a lot of fun in it, and the functionability of it, there it is great, especially when you can, like I said, you can turn 360 degrees in this seat while you're fishing, and wind's blowing you, it's not even a big deal. It blows you past your spot, you just turn and stay in target of where you're trying to cast. So yes, I give it a thumbs up. Like I said, I had a little bit of complaints, but they're minor, very minor. And that completes my 6-month review on my Jackson Bluesky Boatworks 360 angler. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And if you're not convinced to subscribe yet, please consider liking, because it does help my channel out a lot. And this channel is all about fishing, hunting, and everything outdoors. So if you want to see me more out on the water with this kayak, check out my other channels, and maybe you will be convinced to subscribe. Thanks again, and I'll see you out on the water.